Well, hello everybody. Thanks for joining us for one more eDirectory webinar. I'm Emerson Travalini from the marketing team, as well as Gabriel Militão, also from the
Hello.
marketing team. And with us today, also Daniel Talon from, he's our Director of Operations. So welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about the listing template editor and how to get accurate with your audience. It's a very important topic, but a hands-on person, so it will be a hands-on webinar. So if you have any questions, please use the chat feature from Zoom, and we'll stop periodically to answer the questions, or we can answer at the end. No problems with that. Okay, so let me just start here before sharing my screen. Okay, here it is. So the key element of today's webinar is about content, but what about templates? We'll get there. So Google like rich and relevant content. So no matter if it's new or old, that's what Google is looking for to satisfy the user's query. So having unique content is even better. So you have a differential from your competition that will be great for user retention and also for search engines. And listings with few basic info won't rank well and sometimes won't even get indexed by search engines. And as eDirectory suits any industry and purpose, we developed the software to be the most flexible possible. With that in mind, you must take advantage of the listing template editor to create the custom fields that will make your pages stand out of the crowds. I hope it makes sense. So the more unique content you have on your pages, the better will be for your users and also for search engines. A generic listing template is good for a start, but as you grow, you may need more templates, one for each category, for example, or for the main categories, not the subcategories. Otherwise, it will get harder to manage each one of those. So let me just share my screen, and I will show you how everything works inside the directory. Just a moment here. Okay, hope everyone can see my screen. Can you confirm that? Okay.
Yes, we can, yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So inside the directory, you see this is the dashboard, the initial screen. See, if you go to contents, listings, and then you select, oh, let me just remove this out of the way. Okay, inside listings, you see here this link for the listing templates. From here, you'll be able to start developing your own listing templates. So we have just a few examples, a few templates ready here for doctor, dentist, auto part supplier, and another one. You can create as many templates you want. So the main recommendation is have one generic template for business listings, whatever is your eDirectory about. So people can join your directory and start filling their listings very quickly. But having a more comprehensive with the listing template with more fields, that's what's going to make your directory stand out. So here we have a few already created on our demo site. So if you go to edit one, let me just put one. Gabriel, do you remember which one is for the Adelitas?
Is this one, the restaurant listing with the marketplace widget?
Okay, perfect. So let me show this one so I can show you on the back end and on the front end how it looks like. So you can match the look and feel and follow the procedures here. Okay, when you start creating a new listing template, you'll be prompted to choose a title for this template. This title is very important. So because when an advertiser will start the journey of signing up on your site, he will be asked to choose a template. So pick a name that will be easy for them to identify what they are about to build. So if it's for restaurants, for lawyers, for contractors, service providers, etc., pick a short name, very descriptive. Then you can select the categories that this template will be applied to. So you can leave it empty to make it available for all categories on your site, or you can create one for a specific category. So when this advertiser start adding content, it will be sharply focused on that category. Here we have, okay. And if you need to create another category for this template as you manage your website, you can do it here. This is for pricing options. So if you already have a template on your website and want to make it free for everybody, let's say for a non-profit category, etc., you can just select this here. And using the same strategy, you can charge for an additional price for this template. So let's say you have a template for restaurants, but you have a Michelin restaurant style on your city and a small cafeteria, so a small coffee shop, for example. They won't pay the same price for a listing. So you can create a more premium listing template and charge an additional for that. One question here from Simon. So advertisers can choose different templates. This means the listings will be non-uniform. They will be different from each other, right? It will be based on category. You can have different templates for the same category. It's possible. You can create lawyers basic, lawyers premium, lawyers super premium, and create different custom fields for each. It's possible. eDirectory will allow different rules depending on your business and your strategy. I hope it answers this. But you can have, again, one generic and one for each category, one for each subcategory. It's up to you to develop this strategy and create your own templates. So here you can charge an additional for this one. This one you can ignore. It's a plugin that we have that is for advanced review for listings. So if you have this plugin, you can create different rating types and items for people to review this specific type of listing. And the next step is to choose the summary view. Summary view is great because on the listing, on the results page inside the directory, you can have different cards, this summary for the listing. So depending on each type of business you are listing on your site, you can have different summary views. So with the time, people will get used to this and say, oh, this is the listing for people listing. This is for restaurant listings. This is for lawyers listing. People will get used to the results page visually. They will see the results. They will know which category that listing, that results about. Another question here, can you use this for a booking.com style website, add directory bookings? Yes, you can list properties here for rental, being a booking.com or another real estate style. The main thing is to display the filters, because the directors is still needs to a little bit more improvements on the filters for properties, but you can use for that and use the subcategories for filters, not just not the custom fields, like the number of rooms, if it accepts pets, etc. This kind of details. But of course, you can use this to list properties, and you can also, I will show it later, you can add call to action buttons on the listen templates, so they can use their own reservation third parts to links on this button. It's very simple to use that. So again, summary views here. You have 11 options to choose from. Pick one, any one you like. It's up to you to decide this. And then we have the listen template editor. Let's start working on the content of the listen detail page. Just one more question before I move forward. Does that mean someone can purchase the directory, then have a multiple offerings like offers example accounts and layers? Yes, you can have as many categories and subcategories in your directory. It can be a generic, or you can build one directory for each category if you want to. It depends on your strategy, on your efforts for sales, going after advertisers. It depends on your strategy, but you can have as many categories as you want on the same eDirectory. Let me just step back a little bit, because eDirectory has, besides the listing module, it has deals, classifieds, events, blog, and articles. So you can have a full range of offerings inside the same website on all installations. Okay, so now it's time to choose the header for the listen templates. You have different options to choose from. You have this with centralized header, with more social media links, more prominence. Let me just delete this one and start adding more, so you can see what it looks like. So you have this option, the standard header with logo, contact info, send a message, review, the badges, and the contact information on the right. You have a thinner header if you want to prioritize the content of the detail page. You have this centralized header with a more prominent logo type. The stars, if they have reviews, the stars will be displayed up here. Another type of centralized headers with images on the background. This one has displays the gallery of images on the background of the header on the listing detail page. So it's up to you to play around and see what fits best your strategy. Let me use this one here. Okay, so below the header, you can add another widget. I mean, you can add a banner ad, for example, here. So it will help you on the monetization of the websites, because the banners, you can use AdSense or another script-based advertisement system, and of course the built-in banner systems as well. Okay, one more question here, just a moment. Shamal is asking about the recording. Yes, we are recording the session. It will be available on our blog a day or two after the event. But I'll send a follow-up email later, Shamal. Don't worry about the issues with your connection. Okay, so besides this, so you can add a banner right below the header. And then you have the structure of the listing detail page for these specific templates. You can work with tabs. You can create as many tabs as you want to distribute the contents among these tabs. So it will be easier for the user to identify what type of content they can find on this page. For example, if it's for a medical clinical, for example, you can have one tab for appointments, one tab to list their doctors, another tab for the reviews, for example. So you can use tabs to better distribute your contents on the page. And if you don't want to use tabs, no problem. You can use just one tab listing all the information you want to list. And one other thing, even after your site is published and live, you can change the templates without losing, as long as you don't delete the widgets and the custom fields. You can change the design, and the information will be carried over to the new design of this same template. So it's another great feature that we have in eDirectory. So it makes more flexible to adjust the design down the road without losing content. Okay, let me go over. So here you see this plus button that you can add more widgets on the listing templates. There are the standard fields of eDirectory, just like the about, opening hours, location, social buttons, additional information, the social feed for Facebook and Twitter, video gallery, banners, reviews, recent reviews, photos, deals, classifieds. These are the standard fields that comes with every installation of eDirectory. So now it's time to create the custom fields that I mentioned at the beginning. For the custom fields, creating custom fields, just pick a few ones like this. Checklist, you can create as many fields as you want using these widgets, which will create a checklist. So you can pre-fill the options here, and then the advertiser will just check what they offer. For example, credit cards accepted. You can create this this field here. Let me show you how it works. You just select this one here. 1 second, it's loading. Okay. Okay, perfect. So here, credit card accepted. Icon, you can choose the icon for these custom fields. Okay, let's put Visa. Oops. MasterCard and Amex, for example. Okay, you can even use the placeholder to give an extra hint for the advertiser to fill in, but it's up to you. So here we have then this checklist. So when the advertiser will fill their listing, they'll just have to mark which credit cards they accept. Simple as that. Another custom field types we have here, the call to action button that I mentioned. Let me put this one. You see book now, for example. Just select the, I mean, this is the label entry for the form. So the advertiser will know what they have to do, what they have to put here. So type in your reservation link, for example. And then you have book now. Oops. Okay. Perfect. So we have here another types of custom fields you can create. This description, you can create more as custom fields, more details, which is a label, and then it's a free form. To be honest, you will choose the first one, like number of rooms. You mentioned about booking.com. So numbers of bedrooms. So they can fill in 2, 3, 4, etc. So with this custom field, you are going to use for that. You will give the label, and the advertiser will fill the information. What else we have here? Banners. This one for range, so you can put like price. They will. It's a gauge. They will select if it's cheaper or more expensive. This one for specials. Two, you can create as many as you want. This is our standard fields. This is the marketplace widget. We can show it later as well. When I show you the front end. Some description, the badges. Badges is a standard field. Standard fields cannot be duplicated, different from the custom fields. Just to be clear about it. Okay, so now I have it saved. Let's save it and see how it looks like. Okay, before I move forward, a few more questions here. One from Johannes. For the recording, please also publish the written chat message. I'll try my best to do that. I would like to add content manually to a listing which the listing owner should not be able to change. Listing owners should be able to change only certain fields' contents. How can I do that? There is no way out of the box to restrict certain fields to be managed by the listing owner. What you can do is to get the ownership of the listing or ask for customization. That's the two ways to go on this topic. Question from Brandy: is there a way to assign custom icons to templates categories so they appear on summary? For example, icons for hotels, pet stores. I believe that would be customized as well. You can use the icons on the listing, the custom fields, but not on the card, on the summary view. I hope it answers the question. Okay, now let me show you on the front end how the listing looks like. This is the same template we are using here. Let me just refresh it here so the changes take effect. Okay, Johannes needs a better explanation. When you create the listing, you cannot assign just certain fields for the listing owner to manage. They will manage everything. If you want to restrict one or another field from their management, it requires a custom work. The other thing is you can assume the ownership of this listing for you. So this person won't manage it at all. That's how you can prevent a listing owner to add to these fields. So he won't be a listing owner anymore. So it makes no sense to remove their ownership. Okay, so here we have the listing template for Adelitas. So let me do the matching here. So we have the header, as I mentioned. I did add any banner ads above, below here, so no banners. The tabs with the content distributed here, one for photos, one for reviews, one for deals. If the listing has no deals associated, this tab won't be shown. The same for classifieds. If there's no classified associated with this listing, it won't be displayed here. So let me just get back here. As you can see, photos, reviews, deals, and classified. So where is the classifieds for this listing? There's no classified associated, so the system won't show this tab. So if there's no content, the field won't be shown. That's pretty simple. Okay, this one is the marketplace widgets custom field for this listing template. So you can create this and put this. It's a storefront. It won't be able to complete the transaction inside the system. So they can use an external link like a Shopify link or even a Stripe purchase link for what they are selling here. Again, okay, this is for features. You can, it is a free type of field. The listing owner, the advertiser will choose the icon and the text. That's their responsibility to choose this. This is for the reviews we have. This is another content I added here. Okay, so let me edit this item. So now we're going to see on the back end the same experience the advertiser or the listing owner will have when editing their content. Just a moment.
We have one more question from Rob on chat.
Okay, can remove ownership to certain categories? No, it's based on listing, list by listing. Probably you can bulk update listings. I'm not sure if ownership is part of this bulk feature, but for categories, no, it's not how it works. It will be based on individual listings. One thing you can do is to create the listing on their behalf and disable the option to claim that listing. So when you create the listing on their behalf, you can remove this option so they won't be able to claim and take the ownership. So maybe it will work on this situation. Question from Jeff: how do you start off by offering free listings to encourage others to sign up as paying customers? If you use Stripe as your payment gateway, you can offer free trials out of the box. You select how many days of free trials they will have and start this journey. You can also create promo codes inside the directory and distribute these promo codes. It can be 100% off, 50% off. You can decide how it works. So you can encourage people to sign up, not just for listings, but also for events, classifieds, articles, whatever you are listing on your website. Okay, this is the view for the site owner to edit a listing. But aside from this side menu, the other part is the same for the advertiser to fill in. They will see the tabs that they will need to provide contents, just like the summary description. This is the standard fields, logo, contact information. This is for plugin, instant messaging, additional locations, social networks. These features, as I mentioned, it's free for the advertiser to choose the icon and the text and the label of this icon, the opening hours. This is the field I created. Type in your reservation link. Let me put anything here so we can see on the front end how it looks like. Again, the custom field we created, credit card accepted, let's accept it all. This is for SEO, okay. And the other standard fields, let's save. Okay, perfect. Now let me go back to the listing detail page, refresh, and we'll see the two new fields that we were not seeing before, which are the call to action button and the credit card. Okay, Now we have credit card accepted and the reservation link. So it's pretty simple to create custom fields, to have more content on the listing detail pages, and create a differential for your advertisers. The next step here is to configure which listing level will be able to display this field on their listing detail page. So let me go back to the admin area. This is saved. Now we go to settings, manage levels and pricing. Okay, on the listing tab, first you see the pricing, and then you have the level features. The first list here are the standard fields of eDirectory. So it's easier for you to understand what's a standard field and what's a custom field. Below this list, it will start the custom fields you created. So you see the template widgets. So every time you create a custom field on a listing template, it will be placed here. So you can choose which level will be able to display this one. So we were editing this one. So just click on this arrow here, and then you see takeout specials, which is the marketplace widget. So you can define how many items the level will be able to list as a product on these widgets, and which level will be able to display the reservation link and the credit cards, for example. So you can do this. You can do this for any custom field you create. So the more custom fields you create, the more rich will be the page. So it's justify having only the most expensive, the premium listings, the premium plans, to be able to have these fields displayed. So that's very simple to configure the custom fields based on listing level. Okay, one more question here. Let me stop. Oh, a lot of questions. Nice. Question from Tarsha: what's the benefit of customizing versus the default listing categories? It seems very similar to the standard option I'm currently using in my directory. It will depend on based on your project. For example, a listing for lawyers for divorce is no different from a lawyer from financial, for example. Maybe just a small, some custom fields so they can detail their offer or how they act, etc. You can use that, but the more custom fields you create, the more content you have on your pages. And the more content you have, the more you're going to satisfy both users and search engines. So that's the main strategy, the main idea behind having custom fields. So the main benefit is that creating better contents for both users and search engines. For my team, can I create roles with different rights for managing my directory? Question from Johannes. Yes, you can. Here you have the user accounts. You can create another site manager account and define which type of access they will have. If it's just for content, it's for settings, etc. It's pretty simple. Another question from Bill: how do you prioritize one template over another in the listing results page? For example, I want my premier customers to come up first before my regular listings. This is not for the listing templates, it's for the listing level. Our search results works based primarily for the most it's for keywords. It satisfies the keywords first, but if they're the search is done from the category page, then the results will be listed by level first. So diamond level first, gold on second, silver on third, and bronze on fourth. We allow up to 4 levels of listings. So it's not based on the templates, it's based on listing level. Another question from Trash. I see. I could add that to my top tier listings options. Thank you. Okay. Johannes, the statements show as I mean as the zoom in. The rest of participants cannot see them and do not read the questions clearly, so the rest can understand them. So we do not set them and do not hear them properly. So I'm sorry, Johannes. I'll try to be more clear on the questions and the answers. And if you have another question that you want me to go back, just let me know. From Angela, what template is best to use when you first populate the site on your own? There's no difference about that. It will depend on your focus, on your objective. You can start with the basic listing templates with no custom fields. So the importing tool will work perfect for that. And down the road, you can add more fields, add it to the listing templates. You can even create a new listing template and move another set of listings to that template so they can take advantage of the new custom fields. So it doesn't make any difference how you start. But if you want to use the importing tool, focus on the standard fields first. Okay, one question from Charlene. Now that we have the new version of the directory, we would like to change the content of our categories. Is it possible to make a subcategory, a main category? I'm not sure if that's possible right out of the box. Maybe you will need some help from the support team. And if they can help easily, then we can work out another way to achieve that. I hope it answers. Okay. While I'm talking, we talk about a eDirectory new version. It reminds me that the new version of the eDirectory app now displays all the custom fields on the listing detail page. So on the apps, I'm not talking about the responsive version on mobile. It's the mobile apps for Android and Apple. Now every custom field you create on the listing templates editor, now it will be displayed on the apps as well. It's a new feature from the last version. Again, from Charlene, most category software allow you to change the parent category. How can we change the parent category on eDirectory? You can move one listing to another category. It's easy to do that, but to bulk change everything to another, it requires a bit more work to do that. Okay, more questions. I can talk a little bit about the types of widgets on the listing template editor. Let me show you again on the listing templates. Let me go back, because we have two fields, two widgets or fields, which is the same, which is related listings and linked listings. You can use both or just one on the templates depending on the objective you have. The linked listings is useful when you have like a restaurant that wants to list their chefs. So you're going to create a listing template for people, for example, and list the chefs on this specific templates. Then on the listing for the restaurant, they can use these linked listings widgets to display their chefs. Gabriel, could you please try to find one example for this? If you look for chef or another name, we can show you how it works very easily. And the other, okay, thank you. And the other widget is the related listings. Let me show you here how it works. So if you want to create more engaging contents, this one is very good, the related listings, because you can configure that to display more listings on that detail page based on category or location, or a combination of category and location. So a person is looking for a restaurant, he's seen Adelitas. Let me just configure very quickly this widget here so you can see it working on the front end. Oh, I'm sorry. So very quickly related listings. Okay, let me save it. Oh, it's from auto part supplier. I'm sorry. No problems. So when you create, when you add these widgets, related listings to any template, it will show the related listings based or on category or location or a combination of both. We'll have one here, but there is no items to display. I have just one listing on this category, so the listing, it won't populate the fields. Okay, my bad. But as it's very easy to make the edit, so let me just get back to Adelitas, to that specific listing templates, and I will add that. It's just one more minute, and it's done. Okay. Category and location, view it, vertical, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Save it again. Okay, there are more questions on the chat. Let me just finish this part first, and then I will get back to you very quickly. Okay, let's see if it's populated now. Just refresh, maybe cache. No, probably I'm out of listings on the same category and location, but it works simply. So you have linked listings and related listings. The linked listings will be when an advertiser has more than one list and they want to show related linked contents, and the related listings is to create more engaging content for the end user. So let me go back to the questions. I will stop sharing my screen. Let me answer the questions. From Charlene, we published our Android app before getting the new version. Now that we have the directory, is it easy to update our app? Yes, it is. It's all a matter of creating another, reconfiguring the app. You can configure the home screen if you're going to have feature listings, etc. It's a drag and drop editor for the home screen. We're going to generate the new files to upload on both Android and App Store and Apple and Play Store. It's pretty simple. If you need any help, our support team is ready to help you. One other question from Johannes. Is there an option for website visitors to notify me as an admin with a few clicks without sending me an email? If one of my listing owners misuses my directory, for example, uploading strange pics, etc. Yes, we have. And to be very honest, I created this feature here. Just a sec. Okay. On this page, I'm sorry, it's in Portuguese because it was a webinar for our Brazilian customers. You can use the widget for the custom content widget to put a statement like this. Do you want to report this listing? Contact us, and then link to the contact us page. Or you can use a visual call to action here to use the same strategy. Do you want to report the listing? Is it outdated, etc.? Contact us. This is done inside the design and page editor. It's not on the listing template editor. It's on the page editor. We're going to look for the listing detail page here. And then you can add this widget or a call to action or a custom content and use plain text with the hyperlink for your contact us page. Or even if your design allows, you can even use like a lead form where you can just put the message and the email, for example, making it even easier for them to submit the feedback right away. Oh, I'm sorry, I was not showing my screen. I'm sorry, my bad. Let me show again. Pretty simple. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's not on the listing templates editor as I was showing. Is here on design page editor. We're going to see the listing detail page, and then you can use custom content widget for the visual link or the call to action. Let me show you how it works. I was talking and didn't realize you were not seeing my screen. So on the listing detail page, it will work like this. You can put just a simple text message anywhere on the page. I suggest to put that on the bottom so you display the best content first. Or you can use this visual. This is the CTA widget, call to action widgets available on the page editor. It's not related to the listing templates. I hope it explains now. Okay, one more question from Brandy. Does the advertiser have control over the related listings widget? No, the advertiser has no control over that. It's a site owner management only. So you're going to use that for level. You can define which level of listing will be displayed there. So I recommend, personally, I recommend to use just the top level, so you are increasing the visibility and exposure of your best customers. But of course, you can display everything you want to in terms of level. And you can configure it by category, location, or a combination of both. And the linked listings, then it's exclusively for the advertiser to manage. If they don't add anything in there, this field won't be displayed on his detail page. Okay, one more. Oh, okay, Johannes, can you please show it? I'm sorry, I was not sharing my screen. Another question, Charlene. We work in the film TV industry. When customizing listings, is it possible to create a list of checkboxes, for example, for producers, directors to say which unions they are in? Yes, you can. You can create as many checkboxes you need for any situation you need, for the films, the productions, the type of films that they want to work or they already worked, like short movies, documentaries, drama, etc. You can create as many custom fields as you want to accomplish your objectives. Okay, from Tarsha, I'm really loving all the new updates in both the website and app. Really great job. Thank you. It makes my site and app look more customer and competitive. Okay, thank you, Tarsha. If you need anything else from us, just let us know. Drop us a line. Gabriel will post again our contacts if you need to send us additional feedback. Thank you. From Johannes, I do not want to use email of forms. Can you directly show me this in dashboard? So I'm assuming it's on the listing, on the send a message button. I believe that's your question. Let me just confirm that here. Johannes, if you can just confirm if that's what we're looking for, I can show you, I can show more details about this. Let me get another listing, because this one has not the form available. Okay, let me see if this pediatrician clinic has the listing form, because the forms for I want incoming messages from website visitors or from other listen owners, users to be shown in my dashboard. So you can use that as well. I'm going to show you. Just let me finish my thoughts here. When you click on send a message, it will require the user to fill in name, email, subject, and message. And also, if you have reCAPTCHA integrated with your website, or use the built-in CAPTCHA. If the user is already registered and logged in, so the fields won't be displayed, like name and mail. It makes easier for them to submit the message. But this one is hard-coded. There's no way to modify these fields out of the box. And when someone sends a message through this feature, or using the lead form on your pages that you can create, then it will be shown for you on the dashboard. Here you see the leads, which shows all the messages sent from the user to your advertiser. So you can manage this. You can even moderate. You can use the moderation settings of the directory to be able to manage these leads, the reviews, etc. So the messages will be shown somewhere inside your dashboard. But from listen owners, I'm not sure if listen owners have a clear field to contact the site owner. But if you use the lead form on some part of your website instead of using the contact us form page, then you have the same here. You will receive the leads here. Hope it makes sense. Okay, from Charlene, when a review is received, does the advertiser see the review? Can the advertiser approve the review, or only the site manager can approve? It's a setting that you can define here. Let me show you quickly how it works on general settings. Let me open here. You can select first if to be reviewed, the user must be registered, which is recommended, so you don't have anonymous reviews or fake reviews. People will have to create an account and sign in to be able to do to write the reviews, which is the best approach in my opinion. But depending on your niche, your industry, you can allow for anonymous reviews as well. Okay, here comments and reviews options. Check this box to enable reviews for listings. Visitors need to log in before posting review for listings. Site manager must approve the review and comments and the reply. Enable Facebook comments. So here you can select what happens. So when someone writes a review, it can be published automatically. The site, the listing owner will be notified by email, and they can reply to that review. Let me just show you quickly how it looks like. Sponsor accounts, choose one. I guess I have one ready here. I was working on this earlier today, so it's fresh on my mind. Just a second. Signing into this account. So you as a site owner, you have full control over everything in our website. So you can log in our sponsor accounts. You can update and change anything back if you want to. And this is one of these features. So I'm logging in into this advertiser accounts just to check the reviews. So I was reviewing this Shakespeare Theater listing. This is the advertiser dashboard for those who are not familiar with that. When I'm sharing screen on Zoom, my laptop goes very slow, so I'm sorry about that. Shakespeare Theater. Okay, so the advertiser will be able to see the leads and the reviews they have here. So if they, it was about reviews, not leads, but okay. If there are reviews, it will be displayed here, and it's the same. It works the same way as here. They will see the review, and they can hit reply and reply from here. And you, as a site owner, you can define if the review and the reply will go to a moderation queue, or if it's going to be published automatically. And again, as you have full control over the content, if you're not happy with the reply or with the review itself, you can go there and remove by it yourself. It's on if it's on the automatic modes. Can the listing owner approve the review? No, just the site manager, the site owner will be able to do that. You can put this on a moderation queue and then reach out to the listing owner individually and say, hey, there's a review about you. How do you want to handle that? Can try to negotiate something with this. I'm not saying to bribe the listing owner, but you can always use this as a conversation starter and to create more bonds with your advertisers. So it will be displayed here, the reviews and the leads. And they can reply to the message sent from users as well. That's the advertiser dashboard. Okay, I guess we are over the time here for today's webinar. Any more questions? Yes, it was a good webinar today. Daniel, Gabriel, anything to add on the topic?
No, I don't think so. It was quite easy. A lot of questions. I think everybody was really eager to get to know more about the listing template feature. So also for everything.
Okay, great.
There's
so
just one last question from Charlene.
Okay, here it is. Can the listing owner reply to a review that has not been approved by the site manager? If the review is not approved, so I'm pretty sure that the listing owner has no idea about this review, to be honest. So the answer is no. He won't review. He won't see if you don't approve the review first, if it's set to go to a moderation queue. One comment from Johannes concerning your Zoom problem with the laptop. Ask your boss to buy you a new laptop. I'll make sure this message gets to him. Thank you, Johannes. Okay. From Charlene, oh, I thought the listing owners automatically saw all reviews that are received. It depends on the settings. If it goes to a moderation queue, the site owner will see this first without notifying the listing owner. So once you approve this, then the listing owner will have access to this review and will be able to reply. That's how it works. Okay, last questions. No one? What do you mean modification setting? No, I said moderation. So when you select on the settings, site manager must approve the reviews before they goes live. So it means the review goes to a moderation queue. The system will send you automatically an email to let you know that there are items for you to review, to analyze on your system. Then you can go to the leads and reviews and see that and approve or deny it and move with the management of the content on your website. Okay, I guess that's pretty much it. So if anyone has any more questions, feel free to send us on marketing@eDirectory.com or use the chat feature on our website, or even reach out to our support team if you have any other type of questions about the eDirectory software. So you can register for the next event in 2 weeks, I guess. That will be the benefits of Google Tag Manager. It's a very useful tool, especially to add more marketing features on your website. So I see you in 2 weeks, and that's it for today. Thank you, everybody that's joining us today. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.